The Angolan Civil War started with the Carnation Revolution in Livson, which to the coup led by the leftist military against the Prime Minister Marcelo Caetano. On January 15, 1975, the Alvor Accords were signed, which started Angola's independence from Portugal on November 15. Angola became an independent state in that time.
The civil war that Angola suffered was because of the result of the rivalry between the US and the USSR. Both countries were financing the two groups fighting in the war. These groups were the UNITA and the MPLA. Both wanted the rich resources they supply, such as mine and oil. Its location was also another key importance in the involvement of other countries, since the ports could be used for naval bases, which in case of war could either be used to protect or threaten ship lanes.
MPLA is the popular movement for the liberation of Angola. The MPLA, founded in 1956, merged from two nationalist organizations and was centered in the country's capital city of Luanda. From 1962, it was led by Agostinho Neto, who eventually became Angola's first president. MPLA fought against the Portuguese army in the Angolan War of Independence of 1961 to 1974 and defeated UNITA and FNLA in the decolonization conflict.
UNITA was a pro-Western organization in Angola, formed in 1966 by Jonas Savimbi with Holland Robert National Front of Liberation of Angola. It opposes the Popular Movement of Liberation of Angola (MPLA) during the Civil War. In South Africa supported the UNITA, along with the USA and Western countries. They wanted to protect the Western interest in oil and other mining rights. The US, as the USSR supported the MPLA recently, it has been discovered that the USA supported the UNITA just because they wanted to have the mining rights in that region.
The fighting started in July 1975 when MPLA forces forced out UNITA out of the Angolan capital of Luanda. Leon Brezhnev, the leader of the Soviet Union at the time, began supplying more to Cuba and the MPLA. Meanwhile, Mao Zedong and the United States supported UNITA. The war raged on for 27 years, with the USSR eventually collapsing. In 2002, both sides eventually signed a ceasefire. Today we are here with a Soviet veteran of the Angolan Civil War. Here, he was sent there by the Soviet Union during the Angolan Civil War in order to fight alongside the MPLA. Today, were the Soviets giving support to the Liberation Force during the Civil War?
The Soviet didn't give support to the liberation forces during the 1960s. It gave the MPLA small amounts to try to influence them.
What was the USSR supplying during the Civil War?
The USSR's military supported them by transporting them by ships from Portugal, and that's it.
This was an interview with Soviet veteran in the MPLA. We hope you would enjoy this.